with a response we are getting from our rank and file across the 276 constituencies of Ghana. Clearly, our brothers in the NPP are not enthused by this announcement that we made. They say we want to cause confusion, and that is why we are calling on citizens of Ghana who have a stake in our electoral process to go and monitor. They say by calling on the citizens to go to various constituency coalition centers, we are trying to foment trouble and confusion. Ladies and gentlemen, if they have nothing to hide, they should have no qualms about citizens of Ghana who have duly cast their votes going to the constituency coalition centers to observe the coalition process and what is happening around these coalition centers from the legally, permitted positions. We all know that when it comes to constituency collation of resource, it is provided for in law. That exercise is not an exercise in secrecy. That exercise is supposed to be a public exercise. It is just like the sorting out of ballot papers, which is done at the polling station level at the close of polls. The counting of those ballot papers and the declaration of the results. Even though there are polling agents certified by the EC representing various political parties present, the general public is allowed to observe that process from at least 100 meters from where the real exercise is happening. So if you are a member of the general public, a citizen of Ghana, you can go and observe the sorting out of ballot papers, the counting, and the declaration at the polling station. Why is it that at the polling station level we don't say that because agents of political parties are already there, then everybody should go home? That is the paucity of the logic the NPP is urging on us. And it is very sad that the Electoral Commission seem to be re-echoing this contrived and baseless narrative of the New Patriotic Party. Everything about our electoral process is supposed to be public. Secrecy and opacity is what breeds rigging in every election. And so if they have nothing to hide, the NPP and the Electoral Commission have nothing to hide, then they should be happy. They should even join us in inviting members of the public to come and observe the coalition process. We are not asking our supporters to enter the coalition rooms. No, we have accredited agents who are the only ones permitted to enter those coalition rooms. We have accredited observers who can also enter and observe the process. But other members of the public are allowed to be at the center, at the right designated places. Not inside the inner perimeter or that enclosed area where the exercise is happening, but nothing stops them. There is no law in Ghana that bans citizens of Ghana from going to a coalition center where results from polling stations are being collated. We have always done this since 1992. Collation has always been a public exercise. And the Jimensa Bosmanasare Samuel Tete-led EC cannot change it. Neither can the failed outgoing NPP government change this. We need to make that very, very clear. And so we thank all our supporters who have heeded this call, stopped all manner of jubilations, and are presently at constituency coalition centers. We will continue to call on you, appeal to you to conduct yourself peacefully, responsibly, and orderly. And please ensure that you are at least 100 meters away from the main coalition center. But you should be observing your eyes, your ears, your nose should be observing the process. You should be smelling everything going on. You should be listening to everything going on so that if there is any issue, you can draw our attention to that for us to act. So ignore the lamentations of our friends in the NPP who have all of a sudden turned into evangelists. I heard their campaign communications director quoting 1 Kings chapter 3 and all that. Bible quotations that I'm sure he has not even read before. Today, He's an evangelist quoting Bible quotations. This is not a biblical, quotation exercise. We are dealing with a public election governed by laws. And the call we have made is in consonance with the electoral laws of this country and with the conventions and practices that we have used for elections in Ghana since 1992. The earlier they get that, the better. But as I served notice and actually cautioned our agents and supporters to be on high alert for the rigging machinations of the NPP in this critical stage, or at this critical stage of the electoral process, we have come by incontrovertible evidence that shows that the NPP has not changed. But if they have changed at all, they have changed from bad to worse. They don't think that elections are about counting hairs. They still think that the election is about cutting hairs. They were one time lucky with violence and thuggery, and today they think that they can be second time lucky with thuggery and violence. But as the boys say in our Ghanaian society, they lie bad. This time around, violence will not prevail. Violence will not win the NPP this election because there will be an appropriate resistance for what they have planned. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take you to Atwemanwabieja South constituency. Even as I was addressing you, and by extension, the good people of Ghana, the NPP had assigned their thugs, positioned them somewhere around Sepase. And if you know that constituency very well, polls had ended in Ebuakwa, and ballot papers were being moved to Nkariye, the capital of the district, for collation at the Constituency Collation Center. On their way from Ebuakwa to Nkariye, when they go to Sepase, some thugs of the NPP pounced on that vehicle. They were already holding 2 ballot boxes full of ballot papers, attempting to swap 2 ballot boxes with the ballot boxes that they were holding. Thanks to the resistance that our supporters, agents, observers mounted, and supported by the Ghana police, were able to overpower them, and they were arrested. And as I speak to you, they are in police custody, and I want to show you videos of what happened. And the media, you can check with your correspondents in the Ashanti region. These shameless, desperate people who think that this country belongs to them and will stop at nothing to hold on to power even when they know the people of Ghana have rejected them. This is what they are up to again. They did it in 2020. They've started again. So this is the Sepase police station. There's the confrontations going on. When they arrested them, they brought them here. But let's go to the next video so that they can see the ballot box. Yeah, so that's one of the guys. Can you go to the next one? Next one. Yes, so these are the 2 ballot boxes. They try to swap with authentic ballot boxes. These are the 2 ballot boxes. And the police have seized that. They have seized that. And this was as a result of the vigilance of our people and the professionalism of the Ghana Police Service. And we commend them for that. So these are the ballot boxes. They pounced on the vehicle which was transporting the ballot boxes from Ebuakwa to Nkariye Sepase. And they already had a ballot box with papers in it, ballot papers in it already time-printed. So when we tell you that these guys are up to no good, they are criminally minded. These are demented psychopaths who would do everything and anything to hold on to power, including killing, including stealing. This is what we are talking about. They make frivolous allegations without any proof. We are giving you proof. So the new evangelist, the NPP has now got an evangelist, Dennis Miracles Abuaje. We want him to hold a press conference on this and tell us whether this is true or not. Now, let's move from Atwemanwabieja South and come to the the central region, Awutu Senya East constituency. where we've recorded another murder of an innocent citizen who happens to be a supporter of the National Democratic Congress. Clearly, Awutu Senya East constituency is green. The tyrant, Hawa Kumsin, is a goner. And seeing that power has obviously left her, she cannot come to terms with the reality and has resorted to violence as she is known for. She's the same person who went to a polling station and actually pulled a gun and shot at innocent civilians. And today, his thugs who were brought in from the Boku area, we know them, we have intel on all of them, were directed by Hawa Kumsin to fire at an innocent, unarmed supporter of the NDC. Today, our former constituency secretary for Ayawaso, for Awutu Senya East constituency, Tuareg is no longer with the living. He's no longer with us. Why? Because thugs of this same woman, Hawa Kumsin, beat him to pulp. And he never recovered, never got better until he died very painfully, leaving behind many children. So for how long will Hawa Kumsin continue to do this? As I speak to you, one supporter of the NDC has been murdered. He's dead. The other is in critical condition at the hospital. But that is not to say that we have lost focus. It is a very sad moment for us, a very difficult moment for us. But until Honorable Now Koyo is declared as a member of parliament elect for that constituency, we shall rest not in that constituency. And the information we have is that the coalition currently ongoing at the coalition center at ASEC is almost coming to an end. And we want to call on all our supporters, all our agents to remain extra vigilant until the process is concluded. The duly elected member of parliament for the constituency is declared by the EC. The resource form duly signed by agents, our agents get his or her copy. It is posted on the wall, and then you can go and jubilate. But until then, let's remain vigilant. So that is what they have done there. And when we have the opportunity to address you again, we will show you pictures and videos of that. But I'm sure by now your correspondents in the area have already spoken to you about this sad development. But you know, nobody goes scot-free after shedding innocent blood. The MPP doesn't understand what is happening to them today. And one of the reasons why they are losing this miserably, like their own prophet told them they will lose spot all, is because of the 8 innocent Ghanaians they murdered in 2020. The blood of those innocent Ghanaians will forever be on their head. And so will be the blood of these 2 innocent Ghanaians who have been murdered today. One in Nyankpala in the Tolong constituency. An innocent civilian who was sitting somewhere only for these MPP thugs under the instruction of their parliamentary candidate Habib to open fire on him. And if you can show that that is the injured person, show us the picture of the one who they murdered in cold blood under a bench because they were seated down. They didn't have any weapon. They killed them just like that. Because they had gone to the UDS campus at Nyankpala to influence and induce students to vote for Habib. Our supporters protested. It led to some heated exchanges and fisticuffs. The MPP thugs left the scene with Habib and came back there with their AK-47s and all that. They began to shoot indiscriminately to intimidate the crowd. The crowd dispersed. And on their way out, they met these NDC supporters sitting somewhere under an NDC shed. And they just opened fire on them and killed one at the spot. And here let me commend the Ghana Police Service led by IGP Dampare. IGP so far so good. It's not been smooth. We've not been happy with how some military men have being deployed and how some of them are behaving. But I think that so far, the Election Security Task Force under your leadership has done its best to maintain law and order in consonance with the laws governing this process. And we entreat you to continue to do so in accordance with the Constitution that you have sworn to uphold. And I'm commending him because we understand that 4 of the criminals who committed this dastardly act have been arrested by the police. But the main culprit, who is Habib, must be arrested. And if he's not arrested today, on the 8th of January, he will be arrested. Just like our Kumsi. Mark that on the wall. Then, in Greater Accra, we are having serious challenges in 4 constituencies. One is Ayawaso Central, where the Interior Minister, what's his name? Henry Korte is Member of Parliament and the outgoing Member of Parliament for the area. We are having similar issue at Tema Central, Ablikuma West, especially where Aslausu is the Member of Parliament, and Ablikuma North. And the common feature of all these challenges we are having at these coalition centers is that the police, or let me not even say the police, these thugs of the MPP, because some of them may be wearing police uniforms or military uniforms, but you can't even tell today in Akufo-Addo's Ghana whether these people are truly soldiers. You can't really tell. That is how depraved the leadership of this country has become and how bastardized our state institutions have been, reduced to. And so these thugs don't want to allow members of the public to at least observe. Because at Ablikuma West, thugs of the MPP tried to engage in ballot box swapping. They threw into the coalition center 2 ballot boxes. And people saw it because they were there. And they were there because we called on them to be there. Had they not been there, the story could have been a different one. So they were there and then protested and resisted that ballot box swapping attempt by the MPP. Immediately that happened, Aslausu called her soldiers. And they came there in a truck. Soldiers armed to the teeth surrounding the coalition center. Well, our Deputy General Secretary is on the ground, and I'm told that the soldiers have now backed off. But that is a challenge we are encountering there. Same as Ablikuma North, same as Tema Central. And we are telling our people, stand your ground. Stand your ground. Be peaceful, be responsible, be orderly, but stand your ground. You have nothing to fear because we are on the side of the law. We are on the side of the law. And they cannot kill all of us in Ghana. They can't. Now, to conclude, there is also the issue of a Buakwa North in the eastern region, where, again, at the coalition center, the police has fired tear gas, they are spraying pepper spray just to make sure that our people are not there to observe the process. And we want to call on the IGP to address these issues that we are encountering in some of these polling stations. The entire electoral process is a public exercise from the police station level to the constituency level to the regional level to the national level. Accredited agents are the ones who are allowed to be in the collation rooms. We all know that. But the public, the general public, is allowed to be around to observe what is happening. What is happening is not an election of a secret society. It's an election of a democratic country. People have cast their votes. What do you have to hide? And some people will say, oh, but your agents are there, allow them. 2 agents and a few observers. What about if they bandit them somewhere? Like they did at Echiman South. They attack them. They hound them out. Who will be there to defend them? And you want us, a serious political party, ready for power and in fact coming into power, to listen to your advice and tell our supporters to sleep at home and allow only 2 agents to be there observing the collation. You think we are zombies? And I worry and it will not happen today. It will not happen tomorrow. We will police this exercise to the very end. And we call on our supporters to do exactly that. Now, finally, I'll end with a joke. I heard the new evangelist the MPP has now discovered, their communications director, who is now quoting. We thank you for your patience. We thank you for your collaboration. We appreciate your presence here with us. And we want to encourage you to stick with us until we bring this process to an end.
HAFIZ TV, unique every day.